And we're back. So we're looking at the snapshot and bounce pass list here, so I can just show you a few things about how they're organized and how you can organize them. So these are all for the same session, but obviously you could have snapshots for multiple different sessions. And you have snapshot name, which do not have to be unique, but they can be unique. Then what you can do is, obviously this list can get very long, and so if you want to search it, let's say you just want to see your stems, search for, right, I'm searching by session name, and of course that's all Bounce Factory demo. If I search by snapshot and do stem, now I can just see the stems that I'm printing, which is kind of handy if you want to double check that you've got everything. So you can search by session or snapshot. You can also sort the list by session or snapshot. Right now it's showing that it's not sorted. This is just the order that we added things in. If I sort by session, nothing's going to happen because these are all the same session. If we sort by snapshot, though, now they're sorted alphabetically by the snapshot name. Maybe you want to do that, maybe you don't, completely up to you. The other way you can manipulate this list, though, is you can show them grouped. So what this shows you is the top level, we are showing a session name and the snapshot count. So the Bounce Factory demo session has 2 snapshots. If we double click, that will take us down a level, and now we're seeing the 2 snapshots by name. So we've got the demo snapshot, which is the first one we saved, and the demo main mixes. Demo snapshot only contains that one main mix pass, right? And the Bounce Factory demo main mixes contains 12. Double click, go down, and these are the 12 mix passes for that snapshot. And if you navigate up, you can just click up, and a little hidden thing, you can command click to navigate up as well, command double click. So the other thing you can do when you are in either the grouped mode where you're showing bounce file names, which is the actual mix passes, or when you're showing ungrouped, so that each one of these is a mix pass, is if you double click, you're taken to an edit screen. Now the edit screen, there are only a few things you can edit because otherwise things get very complicated when you have lots of mix passes for one snapshot. But if you named something wrong, you can change the bounce file name here. If you realize you've chosen the wrong source, you can actually change it here. And this gives you a pop-up menu of only the sources that are available in your session. Then the import destination track, if you've set that wrong, you can go ahead and do that. And this is a list of tracks that are actually in the session, or you can say leave it in clip list or a new track. You can change the directory both for the bounce and for the export. Anything else that you want to change would be invasive enough that it could actually screw up other mix passes, and that has to be changed by you just deleting it and going ahead and doing a new snapshot to add that mix pass back in. Now you can just delete certain mix passes. Let's say that for some reason you want to redo all the stems. You could delete your stem mix passes by coming back out here to the list. You could even search the way we did before. We'll search for stem. You can select all of these and click delete, and that would get rid of all of those mix passes but leave everything else in that snapshot alone. And then you can make a new snapshot to do your stems and fix whatever it was that was wrong. And you notice you can have multiple selections here, which is great. One thing I forgot to mention, actually, I'm going to go back into the snapshot dialog because I was showing you the sources. There are some people who bounce multiple sources. I generally will be bouncing just a stereo source, but if you bounce multiple sources at the same time, you've got this plus key just like you do in the bounce dialog. Now in the bounce dialog, you would just grow one line at a time. With this, when you click plus, you can see all, I believe it's 24 extra sources. So if you want to add another source, you just click the plus, you search for a valid source. So we'll say let bus 1 and 2, say close. And now we have active sources is 2. So you know that you're bouncing more than one. And if we say we want to bring this into the session, it's going to take the first source and put it on the existing track. But if we click on that track name, it will bring up a list of all of the sources, and you can actually put every source onto a separate track. So if you want to have one track that's got your main mixes, one track that's got your TVs and instrumentals and your cleans or something like that, you could split them up that way if they're different sources. Or you could actually have them all go to the same track, and then every single mix pass would just be put on playlists onto the same track. I just wanted to mention that because I forgot to mention that before. Hopefully you're watching this in order so it makes sense. Canceling back out to the list. So you can rename, you can edit, which is the same thing as double clicking. You can delete, and delete will delete the selected ones. So that could either just be a single, or it could be a multiple selection there. Or you can just click delete all and it will ask you to confirm and it will clear out everything from the list. Import and export, as I said before, it will collect all of these mix passes and all of the snapshot data, zip it all up, put it in a snapshot file, and you can put it somewhere on the disk, and then you can reload it later on. And when you reload it later, it puts everything back the way it was, and you're ready to bounce. So you could set up multiple projects that aren't necessarily all going to be bounced right when you set them up if you want. Generally, I set things up, and then when I'm done bouncing, I get rid of them. But that's the way it works for me. Okay, I'm going to stop this video nice and short, and we're going to go on to the next video, which is going to talk about the actual bouncing.